Good evening everybody and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. And tonight we're going to be discussing how to love your body, how to see it in a different way and how to look after it. My guests tonight are Paquita Casada, here to talk about the Love Your Body campaign, and nutritionist and co-owner of Move 360, Hannah Richards. But first of all, before we meet them, let's say hello to Bianca. Hello, darling.
Hi Chris.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Bit bruised. Because
Why is that then, Chris?
Oh, you know very well why I'm bruised, young lady. She keeps sending me on these challenges that, you know, she doesn't tell me much about them, and then I end up doing this really difficult challenge, but I'm bruised. Look, all my legs are bruised. I can tell you what I did anyway. I did the nuts challenge in, where was it again?
In Surrey.
Surrey, yeah.
In Surrey.
Which is a human assault course.
Yeah.
I was up to here in mud, freezing cold water, climbing over things, jumping into ditches, going through tunnels and stuff, but it was brilliant. I loved it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it as good as you thought it was going to be? Or did you not expect?
I think it was better.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I really don't know, because I've always wanted to do something like that ever since I was little. But it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting to do it. So it was quite cold. Mm-hmm. It was raining as well. But it was fun. It was really good fun. I just wanted to say hello, a big thank you to Wayne from there as well, because he really looked after us. And also I met some young ladies there. I ended up doing the challenge with them. They're cheerleaders actually.
And how did they get on?
Yeah, they were really good. I ended up joining in with them.
Really?
Yeah, which was quite good. It was quite encouraging. They were helping me out a little bit as well, helping each other. So I'd just like to say hello to the girls. You know who you are. I think I remember some of the names. It's Abby and Kate and Lulu and all the rest of you. Thank you so much for a great day today. So.
Okay, well, I've got some comments from our viewers. So I asked them, if you could have any special power, what would it be? So we had Stephen, who says to stop time so that he can have more time in bed.
Oh. Got lazy lumps there, I think.
I know, nice try. So we had Diana, who says the power to blink and it will instantly take her to her chosen destination. That one's really nice.
Yeah.
If I could choose, I would blink to a lovely hot beach somewhere. That'd be really nice. What would you blink to, Chris?
How would you say that when you're on a live show right now with me? You can't go.
I'm gone. It's not working. And then one final comment is from Lexi, who says he'd like the ability to swallow the dictionary or have a Google chip in his brain so that he could have the knowledge of Google. But he says this might backfire. For example, on a date, he may overanalyze what the girl does and says with all the knowledge that he now has. Oh. It's interesting, isn't it?
It's a bit weird.
Swallow Google. Brain overload. That'd be too much, wouldn't it? And I've also got some stories here. So if you're a bit squeamish, you might want to turn away. I don't know if you can hack this, but it's a lot of fun. So I've got bizarre things that people have done to their bodies. So first up is the eyeball tattoo.
Oh no.
Now this was actually done a long time ago to correct the defects in the eye. So it was actually done for medical reasons. Now it's caught on as more of a fashion trend. So Chris, would you tattoo Michael's name on your eye?
No way. I've got photographs of him. I don't need him in my eyeball as well, thank you.
Not even the initials?
No way.
That is shocking. I wouldn't be tattooing anything on my eyeballs legs. I used to wear contact lenses and that was bad enough. I hated wearing them in. It was horrible. The next one is 3D art implant, which is putting in any object implanted fully underneath the skin, which raises the surface of the skin. And if you want more of a raised look, then you start the process smaller by putting smaller implants in, and then you take it out, let it heal, and replace it with larger ones. That's
so horrible. I'm sorry if anyone likes that kind of thing, but
that's shocking.
I don't think that looks attractive at all. I don't think people do it to look attractive. It just it's the shock factor, isn't it?
It is the shock factor, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, oh, look at me, I've got. Do
you think people that do that maybe aren't happy with themselves and that's why they do it?
There must be something underlying, isn't there? Like I don't know, but you never know. They might just think it might look nice. It might just be.
Yeah, but things like that, I mean, it's kind of permanent. It gives permanent damage, doesn't it? It's like, okay, maybe you do it in your teens, but then what? You're left with these kind of marks everywhere, lumps everywhere. Yeah. And I'm sure it can't be good for your skin. It's
very, no, you know, actually, there are some risks of irritation to the skin. Above the implant, if this process is pushed too fast, it can stretch the skin out and also irritate the skin quite a lot as well. So there's quite a lot of risks as well of it. So I don't really understand why you do it. The next one is one of the newest trends, and it's corset piercings. So what happens is you put a series of surface piercings arranged up your back in 2 vertical columns, and the ribbon is then weaved through the piercing holes to create this corset. So if you don't want to buy a corset, you can just implant it in your body, it looks like. And that's one of the newest trends of body modification. That just looks extremely painful, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't think it, do you know, because it looks painful and it looks a bit red and sore, it doesn't look, I just don't think it looks very attractive as well.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it looks nice.
It's just,
I don't know.
It's just strange, isn't it?
Sorry, no one in the studio's got one, have they? I'm not offending anyone.
Secret corset.
I guess. You got
And this next one is, it gets even shocker. It gets even more shocking. If it could get any more shocking. So Dennis Avner, also known as Catman.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one.
So he's had extensive surgery in order to look like his favourite animal, the tiger. So he's had lots of tattooing.
I like tigers.
Do you like it enough to change your whole body?
Obviously not.
So he's had implants to allow the whiskers to be worn, implants to change the shape of his face as well, and filing and shaping of the teeth to make them look more like a tiger. We've also got a before and after picture as well. If that comes up in a minute.
Okay.
And that's him. That's what he looked like before. It's shocking,
isn't it? He was quite attractive, wasn't he, before?
Yeah, I can't even recognise him.
He can't have liked, for some reason, I'm sure, obviously, that must be something from his childhood, maybe being bullied or not liking.
That's true.
Because he was an attractive guy before, but then to do that to yourself and make yourself look like an animal, there, of course, there's like psychological reasons for that.
Unless he just loves tigers that much.
No, come on. No matter how much you like an animal, you don't want to look like them. You're a human being.
That's so strange, isn't it?
That's really,
And we've got another one here as well. It's Eric Sprague, he's 37 years old and he's also known as Lizard Man.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
He transformed himself into a reptile via 700 hours of tattooing, 5 Teflon horns implanted underneath the skin of his eyebrows, filing of the teeth into sharp fangs, and also bifurcation of the tongue, which is when you split the tongue down the middle, and stretching of the earlobes.
I think I guessed that. I'm worried they're going to walk off the set and just leave me here by myself. You're right, girls. Just looking really disgusted. I can see they're right opposite me, and I'm just worried they're going to walk off and just leave me. Don't go, please don't go.
Why would you do that, seriously?
Like I said for the other one, I think it's something psychological. I'm sorry. Something that
I wouldn't do that to my body. I mean, it's hard enough trying to get me to the gym, let alone trying to transform my whole body. That's so unusual. And that's all I've got, Chris. That's all the stories.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we did ask some people. I don't know if we've got time to play the street interviews now, but we did ask people what their favourite part of the body is and what.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should open the phone. I think I might be asking for trouble if I open the phone lines. We'll just open the phone lines. If you want to give us a call and tell us basically what your favourite part of your body is, and also what the worst part is, what you don't, maybe what you want to change, you can give us a call on 020 7686 6300. You can also email chris@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet @ChrissyBShow. So let's just go to this street interview, see what these guys had to say, and then maybe after the break you can give us your opinion too.
Most people have got a favourite or least favourite part of their body. So today I've come down to Oxford Street to ask the general public what their favourite and least favourite part is.
I think my breast.
You one breast?
Both breasts. Because they're probably the best asset I have, because my bum's quite flat, so yeah, my breast.
Why don't you like your shoulders?
I just want them to be a bit like, not as broad, a bit more narrow. I don't know.
My first reaction was my brain. Because it shows, obviously it houses my intelligence, and yeah, when it's working, when it's doing its job, it's showing that I'm a very engaged person, generally.
Okay, and what about your most least favourite part?
The organ the appendix, obviously, because it's now obsolete, so when it gets, you know, when it goes, it hurts and it can do some damage to you. Because we evolved and we no longer need it, so that would be the most obsolete part.
I would say mitochondria.
What's that?
That's the powerhouse of the cell that makes us us. So we have trillions of cells in our body, and without the mitochondria we can't really function.
Is that the part of your DNA?
It's not really. It's one of the organelles. So if you think about organs in our body, it's a bit like that in a cellular level. So it's very important. It gives you the energy and also the power to function in our everyday lives.
Oh, right, so that's what makes us, you think, in terms of cells?
Yeah, absolutely, and also bacteria as well. We've got tons of bacteria on our body, which makes up about 10 times more the bacterial cells in our body than the human cells. So in a way, like the microscopic things that we can't really see are probably the most important part for me.
I don't know. Legs.
I was going to say that. I've been complimented on that a few times.
Okay, right. So you'd say your legs is your favourite part?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Probably because I use the most.
And what's your most least favourite part of your body?
I don't know. Arms, they're quite small.
So do you try and do anything to change how you feel about them?
Go to the gym a bit, but that's about it really.
What about before? What was your favourite and least before you were pregnant? Were they different parts?
Yeah, no, my favourite probably my boobs and least favourite tops of my arms, bingo wings. I like my smile and my eyes. They're very, very... Can we have a close-up of the eyes, Ram?
Very nice, I can see why. Yeah. And what's your most least favourite part of your body?
Probably my tummy, yeah.
What do you want it to be like?
Just more toned, I guess. Yeah, I don't need abs or anything. But yeah, just more toned and flatter, I guess.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Love Your Body show, and incidentally speaking, we have someone from the Love Your Body campaign here, Paquita Casada. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So before you tell us about the campaigns and stuff, so you were watching the street interviews before, what did you think about what the people were saying about the parts that they liked and the parts that they didn't?
Some were very technical, like the whole bacteria and the cells and all of that.
The men seemed to get a bit technical, didn't they?
I would never have thought of something like that. But it was interesting what you were saying about the guys tend to focus on the things that they actually use.
Yeah.
So
that was interesting, wasn't it? Because I kind of noticed that, and the girls were talking about boobs and arms and stuff like that.
And I don't know if it was just me, but I sort of thought that the guys hesitated more on the least favourite bits, whereas the girls were just like, snap, yeah, this
they
is
knew
what
straight away, didn't they?
I don't like this.
Yeah.
So I think that was quite
Well, maybe the guys were just showing off a little bit, kind of clever, you know. You never know. What about your favourite parts?
I have to say my bum.
Your bum? Least?
My Ugandan bum. Yeah. Least favourite part, my cheeks. Only because they just make me look so young. They make me look incredibly young.
In about 10 years' time, you're going to love that.
Everyone says that
to
me. Yeah.
You will love that. But they're lovely.
Yeah, but the thing is,
just kind of pinch but I know it's probably really annoying.
You'd be surprised how many people do it. And I think with the dimples as well, so pinch and poke, that's what I tend to get.
I won't do it tonight, I promise.
No. But one time, last week actually, somebody thought that I was 14 and I'm actually 23 years old. So I think the cheeks with the height, it's just causing me many dilemmas.
So, you'll be glad when you're older. Looking young, you'll be glad.
This is true. I'm just waiting for that day to come.
Yeah, you will. Oh gosh, someone can get me mixed up with 14 anyway. Actually, someone asked me for ID lately, but I think they were just being a bit funny.
Oh, that's good.
But he wasn't even looking up. I think you know when you just do it automatically, and then he looked at. I said, "What?" And he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, sorry."
You should have taken that as a compliment.
I did, yeah. What about your least favourite?
Okay, so I'm getting ready for my favourite. Only because it's taken me like the whole break to try and work out something nice.
All right, let's start with the favourite then. Go on, practice.
I don't know, probably like, I was going to say my legs. I decided on my legs, but yeah.
Favourite?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you have got a nice pair of pins.
Thanks, Chris.
Least?
There's loads for my least. There's like a whole list of things that I don't like.
Give us one.
I don't want to give away my secrets. And I've got loads of things I didn't like, especially when I was a child growing up. Like I wasn't too bad. I wasn't like you know, you get some children get quite upset. Like I wasn't bullied or anything, but like I still felt like there's things that I didn't like about myself really when I was growing up.
How do you feel about yourself now?
I feel fine about myself, but like it's just
so
when
I'm turning into counselling. Sorry, just go into it sometimes. So Bianca, tell me.
I know.
How are you feeling now? Darling?
Yeah, I'm fine now. I've recovered.
I sense a little. Maybe we can help tonight, right?
Yeah, we can help.
Yeah.
We'll fix you.
So I'll tell you the things that I don't like then. So I've got really wide feet and my friends are like...
Me too! Swimming.
I was going to say that, yeah. At least we can swim with, yeah. And then I've got like this birthmark on my arm here on the right. And when I was at school, I used to at PE, I didn't want to wear like short t-shirts. I hated anyone seeing my arm. Like, I'd feel really uncomfortable with it. And then my sister, she's like a year and a half older than me. One night I was really upset about it, and she started scrubbing my arm and tried to get it lighter. So it went bright red. But now it's like I just have to deal with it. It's not really that there's noticeable. That's it. So you just have to get on with it, really.
Okay. Well, since no one's asking me, I'll say my favourite parts now.
What is your favourite, Chris?
Right, my favourite. Well, what I get complimented on the most is my eyes.
Yeah, you've got lovely eyes. Yeah, definitely.
And what I like this bit actually.
Yeah.
This part of
it goes in.
Also,
like that.
I like that part. I know it's an unusual bit to like. But
yeah.
My legs are alright as well, I suppose. I need a bit of toning though. Definitely need a bit of tone. Anyway, tell us about the campaign. So we got a bit carried away there. Tell us about the campaigns that you do. First of all, what do you do?
I'm the Vice President for Welfare at the University of Surrey Students' Union. So it sort of involves me being the student representative for Surrey students with anything that's sort of well-being, welfare related. So we have a Vice President for Education, he deals with the education side of things. But my job kind of consists of an array of like different topics, from like finance to accommodation, and then obviously this one was about health and well-being.
Yes, how was that? How did
it was really good. We had 4 campaigns under the term everybody, so it's everybody know your body, everybody love your body, but it was just focusing on different parts. So we started with everybody know your body, and it was more targeted towards if you can spot different parts of your body, and if you know your body well enough, then you'll be able to check for changes, because it was linked to a cancer campaign. So traditionally student age is 18 to like mid-20s, but we have people from 17 to, I think our oldest student at the moment is 90 something.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So but it was just about saying, okay, we know that you're young, and of course we hope that you never get cancer, obviously not, but you should know that it doesn't mean that there isn't a chance you could get it, but if you know the different changes in your body, and if you also know the signs as well, you'll be able to keep yourself well. No, they didn't know. I think they knew the standard kind of the lumps one, but just kind of other things as well to spot for.
Can you give us a few of those now? A few of the signs?
A few of the signs, like fatigue accompanied with maybe lumps, if there's change in body weight, things like that. So on their own, they're okay. But if it's kind of different symptoms that are coming up. So we teamed up with Macmillan Cancer Trust, like the local Surrey hospital. And we also had what do you call them, like plastic boobs, plastic testicles, and we kind of tasked students that came along to feel for the lumps to see if they could feel for them, because there were 4 in each one, but most of the time...
That's interesting, because sometimes you don't know what you're feeling for,
exactly,
do you?
So that was the aim as well. So, okay, you may know that you need to check your body, you need to do all of this stuff, but do you actually know what it is that you're looking for? Because a lot of the time people don't actually know. So kind of that message. And then the following week we had the Love Your Body campaign.
Tell us about that one. That's
so the Love Your Body campaign, it was kind of tied in with anti-SummerSlim. So I teamed up with somebody at the Centre for Wellbeing. She's the eating disorder and mental health nurse at the University of Surrey. And she kind of just wanted us like raise awareness about healthy eating, so as opposed to crash dieting and all of that sort of stuff. Say for example, if you do want to lose weight for like a cheeky trip to Marbella, maybe start thinking about it 2 months before, rather than just thinking, oh no, I'm going in a fortnight, okay, just only water and syrup and the crazy diets that they have out there and all the fad diets. And then we linked with that the whole body image side of it as well. So
tell us about the body image side.
The body image side. So on the actual day we had outlines of the human body, and we got students to draw hearts on the parts that they loved about themselves. Yeah, so we had a team of our campus campaigners, our welfare warriors, who are absolute godsend because they're so enthusiastic. So they were doing that side of things, and it was also about encouraging people to realise what the effects of body image and how we perceive ourselves, because a lot of the times like, oh yeah, it means I want to lose weight, or it means I want to do this, or whatever gripe or issue that you have with your body. But if you have a really negative body image, it can impact on your actions, your behaviours, your thoughts, and it can actually have a bearing on so many different things, which is what people a lot of the time don't think about. So we're not trying to say that we can just fix everything, obviously, but whenever you're thinking about a negative side of yourself, also think about a positive side of yourself, because there has to be at least a couple of things. So we've already mentioned ours, so focus on that and maybe dress accordingly to sort of accentuate those sort of things, as opposed to always saying, I don't like my feet, I don't like my feet. How about, I love my bum, my bum's amazing, I love it. So that's
what were some of the things that the students were saying that they didn't like?
Well, we didn't ask them what they didn't like, because it was all about focusing on the positives.
Okay, so what did they say?
We had different things like, oh, I love my bum.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it? That you asked that.
I love my bum, love my red hair, legs, all sorts of different things. But what I found really interesting, actually, we had, whenever we have a campaign, like we want to make it as interactive as possible. Just so that it's not kind of like we're just preaching at our students, like we want to make sure that they're actually getting something out of it. So we had a mood board, so it just had the simple question, what effect does body image have on us? And I made sure it was a neutral question, so rather than positive body image or negative body image. But what I found quite interesting is that I'd say 80% of the responses were negative, so nobody actually even thought about what effect does a positive body image have on me or other people. Most of the focus was, oh, well, it means I want to lose weight, it means I have low confidence. So you can already see there that it's kind of a cultural thing, that we think as soon as somebody says body, we just start thinking about all the negative things surrounding it. So it was
I think, I don't know, for women especially, I know how I feel when I'm feeling bloated. I feel a bit miserable sometimes, and I have to really sort of control that, because I just don't feel like, I don't feel attractive when my belly's out here, kind of thing. But I know it can affect mood, but I try not to let it get to me anymore, because obviously it's not like that all the time, it's just certain times of the month. But it's like, I think it does affect especially a woman's mood sometimes, and we shouldn't allow it to. I suppose the nutritional part, which Hannah's going to speak to us about later on as well, obviously help with that. And I know also that some women, like when they're with their man, for example, they just feel so insecure about their own body. But the thing is, you know what, ladies, and men just love you the way you are. You don't have to like...
I think it sort of stems from this idea that there's one type of beauty, and obviously there's not. And our tagline for the campaign was, if you define yourself by a number, you will always be seen by a number. And it's kind of focusing on not just size this and weight that and scale sort of things, just kind of looking at the whole holistic picture. So knowing yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, just like tying everything together and seeing how that plays out. Which we're going to speak
about more with Hannah too, and you're going to stay on with us as well. We're going to go to a quick break, so do join us after this, and if you want to get in touch, do tweet at Chrissy B Show. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, so now let's welcome Hannah Richards, who's a nutritionist and co-owner of Move 360, to give us tips and advice on how to have a healthy body. But we've also got Paquita with us still as well. So hi Hannah, welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome, thank you.
So what's your favourite part of your body?
It's a little strange, but I'd have to say my ears.
They are cute, aren't they? I'm going to get a close-up of her ears. They're adorable. Why are your ears?
My ears, I've always twiddled them since I was a kid.
They're comforting.
Yeah, they're comforting. It's like my safety blanket, I suppose. So people who know me know I twiddle my ears, so I'd have to say them.
What about least favourite? Even though Paquita's against us asking them least favourite, which is, I think, is a good thing.
I don't know if I have a seriously least favourite part of me. I think I love them all equally.
This is a confident woman. This is great. That's great to hear.
You should have helped out with our campaign.
Yeah, I think it's best to focus on the stuff you do like as opposed to anything you don't like.
That's really good. So tell us about what you do.
So I'm a nutritionist at Move 360, which is a holistic health clinic that looks at the health of a person chemically, physically, mentally and emotionally. So I specifically look at people's diets to regain function within their bodies. So when anyone comes up with a symptom or a sign, as you were talking about, it's really the last thing to occur in the body. So it's about looking at the preventative measures that you can take so that those symptoms don't really rear their ugly heads, and that we have to just chase the symptoms. So I look at diet, what makes up a person, how much they love themselves, how much they, their mental, their physical, their emotional things to them.
Can you tell just by looking at someone how healthy they are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you? What kind of stuff do you look out for?
You can. So there are lots of signs that you can. People's fingernails, for example.
Oh God, talking about my fingernails. Sorry, I was in mud today, as I was saying, and don't get any closer. I've had 2 showers and I've still got mud under my fingernails, and I didn't get a chance to clean them before coming to the show. So don't look at my fingernails.
No,
today.
right, okay.
I was going to show you my fingernails.
I'll do something different.
Yeah, go.
So you can. So skin tells a lot about a person because skin is our biggest organ. It's our biggest detoxificator as well. So it's a very heavy organ, and everything that can't get out of the body will show up on the skin. So under the eyes, the colour of the skin, blemishes.
I'm feeling a bit self-conscious now.
Yeah, you're just looking at things like liver, all those liver gallbladder sort of issues there.
Okay. And can you tell us a few of the preventative things that maybe people could? I know there's probably loads of them.
No, sure.
Basic stuff.
I mean, I guess it just depends on where a person's coming from and where they want to go to. But if a person is struggling with fatigue, for example, they're tired all the time. They're, a lot of people who live in London, city dwellers, are constantly on a treadmill of trying to work to earn money to pay the bills, to look after the family. The list goes on and on. So people are generally reaching for things like caffeine and sugar to just keep them going. And
you're nodding because you're agreeing with that, because you do it all.
I do it as well. And we find that many, obviously, students, especially during exam period, which is going on at the moment. And it's interesting that you said about skin as well, because I noticed my friends who are doing their exams and all of a sudden, they're breaking out and things like that. So.
Yeah, it can be stress related. But the biggest thing that the body needs is hydration. So when the body's been asleep for 8 hours, or maybe only 6 in some students' cases, they wake up dehydrated, and the first thing, the biggest food for water is water. For the body is water. So hydration all the time.
But most people just grab a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee, a latte is the first thing.
Which dehydrates you even more, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So the easiest thing for anyone to do, the easiest thing, the cheapest thing to do, is for a person to drink more water.
That's the best. So for the students that are watching now, because obviously I think probably some of your friends are watching in their exam time, what do you suggest that maybe the kind of stuff that they can eat or do? So definitely the water.
Definitely water. The nutrition is really important. What we eat makes us who we are. I always say what you don't excrete makes you who you are, which is a bit gross, but it's true, because
I've never heard that one before.
Because a lot of people have problems with their guts. And that's sort of, for me, it's the centre of the work that I do. It's all about gut rehabilitation. So what we put into our bodies is really, really important. And the easiest way for you to remember it is that there are 3 macronutrients that we have: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So if you can't see any protein on your plate, then you're not going to have enough energy, and that energy isn't going to sustain you until the next meal. If your plate's full of carbohydrates, you might very well be constantly eating, because it converts to sugar, you get an energy high, and then you crash again. So thinking about, where's my fat, where's my protein, where's my carbohydrate? And carbohydrates are fruit and vegetables as well, so making sure they're on your plate every time you eat.
I love my fruit and veg, I have to say. No one has to try and persuade me, because I just love them. I'm trying to get a few friends to start eating more, than they know because they're watching. So you deal with the emotional side of things. Can you tell us a bit about that too?
Yeah, sure. I mean, food, I always say food is one of the most emotional thing that we do. If we're sad, if we're angry, whatever emotion we're experiencing makes us choose food in a different way. So when we're angry or we're unhappy, sometimes people will rarely eat. When we're stressed, we go for our stimulants, our coffee, our sugars, our alcohol. And so the emotional, when you're looking at a person and I'm looking at their food diaries, it gives me a really good picture as to how happy that person is.
Really?
And how much they do love their body and how much they respect their body, because what they're eating gives me a big outlook on that.
So an unhappy person would eat what kind of?
Yeah, would be heavy on the stimulants, probably coffee, sugar, Haribos.
I had a few of those today. I'm way back from filming now to say. But
the stuff that
I
makes
I did
us...
take some nuts with me,
Okay.
unsalted nuts. And
There's
stuff.
a bit of fat and protein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did take that, and water, a big bottle of water, so that was good.
Yeah, no, all those things are good, but everything a person says gives me, when I'm in a consultation, an idea of what's going on physiologically in their body. So it's very telling.
Can you tell anything about me yet? Or do you need to?
Yeah, that's I'm thinking that as well. Nails, skin.
Maybe from what we've said, or from looking. Sorry to put you on the spot. You don't have to say, because I know it's a live show. She wasn't expecting me to ask that, but I'm just interested. I told you I don't follow the questions, didn't I?
No, absolutely, yeah. Well, I would say that both of you are really probably very happy with your bodies because of the outlook that you have on life. You're very, excitable and chirpy and loving and
that's right.
And that's for me that's the most important thing. You can have all the best food in the world, you can have the best personal trainers, and you can have all the money that you need to buy all the things that make you happy, but if ultimately you're not happy, then all the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. And not being happy can create illness. It can create disharmony and imbalance in the body. So it's all about being happy over and above everything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's all factors, isn't it? Because like you say, it's not just, people just concentrate on the sort of the physical side, because I remember when I had certain issues with depression and stuff like that, I tried to deal with that first just by exercise. And I was in the gym every single day. I got really fit and I had a really nicely toned body, but it's like inside I felt rubbish still. So it helped to just a little bit. It made me kind of feel a bit better, but then afterwards it was sort of back down in the dumps and everything. And it's only when I dealt with that issue that I was going through, I had to get help for that, counselling for that, and then I was fine. Then now I'm sort of happy all around. I'm happy with my health, I'm happy with the way I look and everything, so it's had a knock-on effect on the other things. Whereas when I was feeling that way, I was although physically I was healthy, but mentally I wasn't okay, and so many issues that sort of bounced off from that as well.
There's a big relationship between what goes on in the brain and what goes on in the gut. So often when a person isn't very happy, or they may have symptoms of depression, then the best place to look is in the gut. And get that gut functioning and working and digesting, because when those things happen, then we're happy in the head. That brain barrier is really important. So you can't just pop a pill.
No, definitely not. But Hannah, you're going to be answering some questions from the viewers shortly after we go to a quick break. Now, Paquita, before you go, tell us about any future campaigns you're planning, or what's going to happen for the future.
Well, at the moment, we've got the last of the Everybody campaign, so everybody chill out.
Everybody chill out?
It's exam period, so we're giving like little tips here and there and just a bit of advice, but it's more of an online campaign, because obviously if you're like rushing to the library, you don't want to be stopped and talked at, especially if you've got an exam.
So what are you planning for that one then? How are they going to chill out?
So we have the tips that are going out online, but we also gave out free apples and stress bubbles, not stress bubbles, what do you call them? The poppers. Do you know what I'm talking about? The bubble wrap poppers.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Because popping them is actually a stress reliever. So believe it or not, I read it somewhere a long time ago. So I read it somewhere a long time ago, but all we've asked is just don't take it into the library with you, because
you'll stress other people
out. As you're just there like, oh yeah, I feel so much better now. There'll be somebody there like, well, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like invading my space with this like random popping. But yeah, I actually leave this role in July. So next month. So that's going to be the last campaign.
Well, the best of luck with everything that you're going to do in the future. Thank you so much. You're a lovely young lady.
Thank you.
Very bubbly too. So after the break, we'll be speaking more with Hannah, answering your questions. So if you want to get a question in as well, Chris at chrissybshow.tv.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. We've got time for a few questions for Hannah here from our viewers. So Hannah, we're going to get straight to them. So see if you can help our viewers out a bit. So this one's anonymous. So she says, or he, doesn't actually say, I feel overweight and untoned, yet I simply can't seem to stop eating junk food and can't seem to motivate myself to get fit, even though it really gets me down and my self-esteem is so low. I just love eating sweet stuff and food that I know is fatty, and I seem to just always put off exercise. How would you go about helping someone like this?
Well, I'd say that that person, the more overweight a person is, the more stressed out they are. So they don't really like exercise. They love all their sweet stuff. So I would try and find something they really love doing, whether it was playing some form of sport or whether they like walking around the park or some activity that gets them out of the house and it just gets them moving. So you're kind of looking at exercise in a disguised way. Yeah. And then just looking at really small changes they could make in their diet. So as we said before, can they drink more water? If they're drinking 3 Cokes a day, can they cut it down to 2? If they're having 4 coffees a day, can they cut it down to 2 and 2 herbal teas? If they're eating a whole pack of biscuits, can they change them to organic, or can they eat only 2 of them? It's about giving yourself, limits and goals to achieve. So it's not about cutting it all out.
So that's the thing. That's the misconception that people do have. They think, to be healthy, I can't have anything that I like. But if you just make a few small changes, probably this person's feeling quite overwhelmed. They love junk food, obviously. Don't want to eat anything else. But it's true, if you just a couple of little changes here and there can give you that motivation, because automatically you're going to feel better about yourself just by doing those small things. And that goes with anything, even if it's not sort of to do with food or maybe a goal that you have in your life, and maybe you think, I can't achieve this, I can't achieve what I really want to do. But if you start doing the small steps, you can.
Any form of change will make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's a good one. All right, so let's see this person here. This is Cindy from London, and she says, I want to have a healthy diet and even have a new diet regime ready and waiting. Well, I say new, but in fact it's been in place but have not started for over 3 months. My weight and fitness feels like such a big issue to tackle that almost feels pointless starting. Please help, I'm going round in circles. That's quite similar to the first one, isn't it?
It's quite similar, but I think what I'd say there is that people often think that doing more exercise equates to losing weight and eating less equates to losing weight. When a body's physiological load is really high, so they've got lots of stresses going on, whether it's they've broken a leg, they've got emotional stress, or they've got some gut issues, IBS, or things like that. When their stress load is very, very high, doing even more exercise is going to increase that physiological load. So we don't need to do body pump and spin and sweat everything out of us to lose weight. If a person is really stressed out, they need to do the more relaxing exercises, like the Pilates or the yoga or the meditation or the swimming, things like that don't put as much stress on the body as the body pump and the classes do.
That's really interesting. I haven't heard that one before. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah, because it's just about a person being stressed out, and exercise is a stress to the body. If the body is really
so normally we say, like, let's go for a run or let's do something because we're feeling stressed, so we expect that to kind of alleviate the stress.
The more stressed a client comes to me in that state, and I will say if I can recognise that they're very, very stressed out, I'll say, you need to cut your exercise right back, and they lose weight immediately.
Wow, that's amazing. Gosh, that sounds good actually. I think that's going to encourage a lot of our viewers. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. Let me just choose one here. All right, this one's interesting. It's from this is more sort of, I think, emotional. This is from Jacob Presley from Hackney Wick. He says, I'm really short for a bloke. I'm 5'3". All the girls I've ever dated have been taller than me and I feel inadequate. I know confidence is the key, but how can I gain confidence when I feel like a little boy with a man's mind?
Yeah, good question. I think there it's about having a very clear sense of who you are, having a sense of self. We call them I values. And when you know who you are and what it is you're here to do, then you don't allow people to break down those barriers. The less I know about who it is that I am, when a person challenges me with something, I'm going to get stressed out because I don't really know, I don't really have any values. So I would say to him, be very clear about who it is that he is, what it is that his dream is, and then find those ways to achieve that dream. And then you don't allow anyone to come into your boundary or your circle and push your buttons in different directions.
So he seems to be quite worried about the ladies as well. So he says all the girls I've ever dated have been taller than me, and he feels inadequate. It doesn't mean that they found, if they dated you, they must have liked you.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, and the thing is, at the end of the day, I mean, if you're sort of worried about partner, the thing is there are women that actually like slightly shorter men, aren't there?
But
and the one that's going to be for you is going to love you being that height. So that's, you know,
but I think I don't know if you'd agree, but you know, it's about a man being very confident. It's not always about height, right? If somebody exudes charisma and they're funny and they know who they are, then that's more sexy than being 6'4".
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
So
I mean, it's in our minds, isn't it, at the end of the day? Because everyone has something lovely about them. Everyone has something that, you know, maybe you're missing it. Maybe you keep saying to people, oh, my ears are big, or my this part's too big. And they haven't even, maybe they haven't even noticed, but because you keep talking about it, then they start focusing on it, when maybe they were looking at your eyes or something else about you. But we think everyone's looking at our bad parts, but when they're not. So it's how we see ourselves. So find something that you like about yourself and just love yourself for who you are, because that's where the confidence comes from at the end of the day. We're not going to love everything about us, obviously, although we can learn to, but at the end of the day, we can.
Yeah,
we can
just
be happy with that.
Be confident with what it is that you do. I think, just like Paquita was saying, you know, they in their campaign they just focused on what it is that we love about ourselves, as opposed to what we don't love about ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Negative energy creates negative energy.
And we've run out of time. It's gone so quick. All right, so I hope that's helped you guys today. And if you want more information about our guest tonight, do visit the website chrissybshow.tv, and we may be coming along to do a challenge with you soon. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we're talking about it before during the break, so tune in for that one very soon. So what day is it today? I always forget. It's Wednesday, so we'll be back again. It's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we're back again on Friday. And I can't remember what Father's Day. We've got a Father's Day special on Friday. We treated a father to a day out, and we're going to be showing that on our show. So have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
You'll get the results that you're looking for.
I agree. It's done 2 hours prep to say anything else. It's really intense. What's good? And look at Barbara. She's like...